Right. Welcome back to another episode of my movie review series, episode 210. Now, last week I said that I was going to come back because I think this house is haunted. Well, House. Yeah, this movie is simply called House. Not to be confused with the TV show that is called House, but this movie is called House, 1986, starring starring the great American hero William Catt, George Wendt, Richard Mall, Kay Lins, just to name a few. Directed by Steve Miner. This movie is directed by Steve Miner. Produced by Sean S. Cunningham. Score by Harry Manfredini. And Kane Hodder is the stunt coordinator. This movie is a Friday the 13th sequel, 100% hidden. Okay. It's a hidden Friday the 13th sequel. If I ever heard one, man. I mean, you got all the players right there. You know, Steve Miner directed Friday 2 and 3. Sean S. Cunningham, the uh, the hostage of Friday the 13th nowadays. And then you got Harry Manfredini, who pretty much is the voice of Friday the 13th with his score. And Kane Hodder is the stunt coordinator. Jason Voorhees is the stunt coordinator of this movie called House. I mean, yeah, this is a Friday the 13th movie, if I ever heard one, Jack. Yeah, this movie House, 1986, William Catt, the great American hero, George Wendt, cheers to him. Richard Mall, Bull from Night Court. Oh man, I tell you, this movie though, it's this movie is considered it's described as a comedy horror film. Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. Not much comedy there. You do get some laughs out of it, but it's more horror than it's comedy. I would lean more towards the horror side of things with this movie. I mean, why else would I be sitting here in the darkness once again? But yeah, man, this movie is more horror than it is comedy, but you do get some laughs out of it. And yeah, this movie, so much is happening in this movie. So much is going on in this movie, Jack. And man, I gotta tell you, it is 100% packed. The story is packed. I mean, you know, this house that um this Vietnam veteran, now author Roger Cobb, is staying in because his aunt died in this house. She committed suicide in this house. Either she committed suicide or she was driven to commit suicide, because this house is not only haunted, but it is pretty much alive. Okay, I mean, whatever spirits, and that's the thing. The origin was never explained. It was just told to us that this house is haunted, and yeah, it knows your secrets. And only the inhabitant of the house, nobody that's visiting has been um, experiencing any paranormal activities, if you would call it. So yeah, Harold Gordon, the next door neighbor, he never experienced any paranormal activities. But this house, anybody who has inhabited this house, anybody who has lived in this house, Roger, his wife, Sandy, their kid, their son, Jimmy, and his aunt, Elizabeth, you know, they're the only ones that experience activity in his house. And Sandy, she didn't even experience it directly, but connected to Roger. she have once her son has been pretty much abducted by the spirits of this house. You know, yeah, yeah. One day, Roger, he was trimming the hedges. His son is outside playing with his toy truck. You know, and next thing you know, Roger, he turns and he sees him gone. He was there just a minute ago, a second ago. Next thing you know, he turns and the boy is gone. So he goes, he walks around the house to look for him. Thinks that he may have gone inside. So he asks his wife, Sandy, yeah, he's in there with her. But no, she haven't seen him inside the house. She thought he was outside with him. So yeah, he goes around to check the back of the house again. He sees that the boy is in the swimming pool like he's drowning. So he goes in there and saves the boy. But as soon as he dives in, he's gone. The boy is gone. He looks around under the water. He's not there. Comes back for air. Looks around. Not there. Goes back under. Looks around. Nothing. So yeah, where is the boy? How did he disappear so suddenly? It's because of this house. Okay, this house is pretty much a gateway to to speak in Stranger Things terms. This house is the gateway to the other side, to the upside down, you know. And yeah, man, I tell you, I tell you. And about his aunt, about Roger's aunt, she is you know, she knows about the house. She knows the activity of this particular house, and even though people have think that she has gone senile, maybe she hasn't. I mean, she knows that the house is haunted, but yeah, there's nothing that's been done about it. And one point in the movie, her ghost warns Roger. And she tells him, yeah, it won, it tricked her. She didn't think it could, but it did. She told Roger that it's going to trick him too. The house knows everything about him. He should leave while he can. And reenacting her death, she hangs herself. I mean, yeah, that's real scary shit. I tell you that, man. I mean, you're alone in this house, and you know that you have suspicions that this house is haunted, and you see that your dead aunt, you know, hangs herself. It's pretty much she's pretty much a repeater, I think. Yeah, if you know paranormal stories, you know that you hear stories about ghosts showing up in the same place that they died, and doing the like going through the same routine of how they have died, Yeah, they would be known as repeaters, they just. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened to her. So, so yeah, 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 his son has been taken by this house. Um, it wrecked his marriage, it wrecked his professional life also. He have written a book in about a year, and doing these autograph signings of a book he wrote um, a year ago. So so yeah, even though he's a famous writer, he has not put out anything in a long while. So yeah, he's working on a whole new book of his personal experiences in Vietnam, and nobody wants to read about the goddamn Vietnam War anymore. They want a good horror story. So, so yeah, he got to write this book. So, yeah, that's the only way. So he comes back to the house just so he can go through his solitude. It's like a writing process for him. Yeah, well, so yeah, as he is working on his book about his personal experiences in Vietnam, One Man's Story is the title of it. You know, uh, he starts to experience these uh these uh these things that's happening in his house. I mean, and yet once he start to show a little bit of defiance and start to fight back against these against these spirits, these ghosts, they start to show some harm upon him. The gardening tools, everything that is sharp you can think of. Like hedge clippers, hedge trimmers. Anything sharp that you can think of. They are starting to attack him. So yeah, yeah, like I said, they put the yeah, that's where the comedy comes in. You got these flying gardening tools, a flying sickle, a flying hedge trimmers, a flying shovel, and they're coming at him. Yeah, and I don't want to mention it, but let's do mention the robust thing, this monster of a woman, if you call it a woman. I mean, it has female features, large ones everywhere. And yeah, it once took the form of his wife, but then it revealed his true form into this ugly, ghoulish thing. Yeah, and it talks in a very high pitched voice. Here, you'll never find him. He's dead. Say your prayers. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a comedy part. But yeah, but everything else, this is very. It has some real horrific stuff too. I mean, you know, his aunt was an artist, and the paintings that you see on the wall, it's very weird, but it might be, in a way, it might be foreshadowing, you know, because she, you know, her background is that she thinks the house is haunted. She knows the house is haunted, so maybe she done these paintings as like visions from her dream, maybe. Yeah, because this is one particular painting that is a clue to where his son is. More on that later. But yeah, uh, it's just a lot going on. A lot went on in this movie. I mean, yeah, yeah. His next door neighbor Harold, he thinks he's crazy. He's a big fan of his work, but he thinks he's crazy. One morning he hears gunshots, and he looks outside and he sees Roger standing at the front porch with a rifle in his hand. Yeah, so he calls the cops, thinking that it's a suicide attempt. You know. Um, yeah, at one point, he stole the phone book. The personal phone book that you write phone numbers in, not the yellow pages. But yeah, he steals the phone book, and then he calls his wife to see that she can check on him. He's telling her about he's telling her that he's not acting right. So yeah, even though, yeah, out of concern, his new friend might be a little bit crazy to him. So, but yeah, one of the key moments of this movie is that once the clock hits 12 midnight, that's when something really, really bad starts to happen. Yeah, because in his aunt's bedroom closet, when the clock hits 12, behind that door is something out of your worst nightmares. I mean, this giant monster, this giant black monster, neck long enough that it has faces inside of it. And yeah, huge claws and everything like that. He opened up the closet door and he reached out and he tried to grab him. Okay, I mean, so yeah, one night he had Harold help him with this little situation. Yeah, once he opened the door, had Harold up over at the ready. He opened the door. This monster comes out again, starts to attack him. Yeah, he's fighting back with the fire poker, and you know, uh, Harold fires the harpoon gun. The lions are attached. The monster he gets away. Roger he gets caught. He gets pulled inside this doorway, and next thing you know, he's being dragged back into Vietnam again. I mean, lots of activity in this particular house, and either one way or another, he may or may not escape from it. But since he have escaped from it, he leads to more clues that his son is very, very near. So yeah, once he escaped back through the door, back through the doorway, he turns around and you see that it's a normal closet again, but he looks at he checks out the painting that his aunt did. Yeah, the final painting. Remove the paint cloth from it, and there's a portion of it that was covering the medicine cabinet. So he removed the paint cloth from it, and he sees that his son is in the medicine cabinet. So he he immediately goes up the steps and he goes to the bathroom. And he checks out the medicine cabinet. Opens up the door. So normal cabinet. Closes it. Takes the step stool. Throws it into the glass, and there you have it. Another doorway to the other side, the upside down. So yeah, and yeah, here's where things start to really get crazy. A monster from that other side start to come through the doorway. Tentacles wrapped around them, try to pull them in, and then it has hands, multiple hands. Reaching in, trying to grab him, trying to pull him in. Yeah, so he grabs a straight razor, cuts away. So yeah, the monster goes away. He hears his son scream. So he goes through the medicine cabinet first. He ties the rope around the toilet. He he got his rifle. He got a flashlight, and he rappels down through the other side. Now, as this is going on, we see just pitch blackness. Hearing noises here and there, but you see just pitch blackness. Next thing you know, that this beast, this thing, this skeletal face, but huge wings like a bat, and it just comes at him. Where huge wings like a bat, got these arms, these huge hands, comes at him, scares him a bit, flies away. He comes back again, takes his rifle, pulls away, flies off. So yeah, he's left defenseless. He got the flashlight shining around the darkness, and then here he comes again. Well, this time this sucker throws that rifle, blasts the rope, and down he goes. But he did not have a hard landing. It was into some water, so yeah. So yeah, he finds that so yeah, as he gets out of the water, he finds that his son his son Jimmy trapped inside of a cage. His boy is a POW since he's back in Nam again. Yeah, so he grabs the chains, gets the chains off, and since he's back in Nam again, he's being fired at. But he's not being fired at not any insurgent. No Viet Cong is not firing at him. You know, this this huge shadowy figure, just like a commando, is firing at him with a huge M16 machine gun. Look like, yeah. So yeah, he gets his boy out the cage, runs back into the water, and out they come inside the swimming pool. The swimming pool, another gateway to the other side. And apparently, yeah, it's happening around the 12 o'clock hour. But the uh, the uh, the huge individual that was firing at him, when Roger opened that front door, he got back in the house. He opens the front door, and he sees his dead buddy, Big Ben, played by Richard Mall. Big Ben. He's been dead for years, and he's pretty much a zombie right now. He looks like what Jason would look like in Friday the 13th Part 7. You know, even though John Carl Buchler, I don't think he did the makeup effects. He probably did. I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen his name in the credits, but yeah, in the closing credits. But yeah, he looked just like if he was if it was his work. But yeah, Big Ben is at the front door. Why'd you kill me, Roger? Did you have the guts to do it? I had to get help. It tortured me for weeks. I would die for you, Ben. Well, now's your chance. Yeah, so, we got a nice little chase going. We got a nice little chase / fight. Because, yeah, Ben is chasing him around the house, but Roger, he tries to fight back. He slams a chair at him. Roger, you're like a little girl. Yeah, so, going up the stairs, going around the house, everything, you know. But yeah, he tried to get out through the front door. And yeah, he can't get away from me, Roger. You can't, you never will. Yeah, so this is when Roger starts to fight back, man. He just goes at him, tackles on the steps, and give him a knee lift, and give him some shots to the face, he picks him up, throws him like an Irish whip, he throws him to the door, but he rips off his arm in the process, Yeah, so you start to beat him with his arm. Come on, Roger, that's all you can do, you wimp. Yeah, so you tried to give him another swipe. Ben grabs his arm, puts it back on. Yeah, so Roger, yeah, he makes another break towards the through the kitchen. Roger, where you going, pal? Yeah, Roger trying to throw the table at him. Ben, he throws it out the way. Roger opens the doors, and next thing you know, there's nothing out there but a ledge on a cliff. Yeah, now he's hanging at the he's hanging by the back of his house. No, he's hanging on a cliff in the back of his house. This house is a doorway to the other side, to the upside down, basically. So yeah, Big Ben, yeah, you're lost, buddy. He steps on the toes, So yeah, Roger, he unloosens his belt, make a loop out of it, throws it at Big Ben's hand, pulls him down. This time it don't fall off. He pulls Big Ben off the cliff down to the watery rocks below. He got rid of that bastard, or did he? So yeah, Roger, he pulls himself back up. He's in the clear now, but he hears his son screaming for him, calling for him. Yeah, so he's going looking for his boy. He goes upstairs, nowhere to be seen, not in the bathroom. Steps out, he sees him in the hall. Big Ben got him up. Hey, you think you're funny, Roger? A few years ago, you had a chance to kill me. Now I'm gonna kill your little boy. Let's kill yourself. Yeah, whips out this field knife, put it in Jimmy's throat. Yeah, so Roger, you got no chance. Roger reaches for him. He goes for Roger's hand, and yeah, we see his hand get chopped off, but then Roger, he pulls it back up, and his hand is still there. Yeah, I'm not afraid of you anymore, Ben. I beat you, and this goddamn house. Yeah, don't make me mad. Ow. I'm warning you, I'll slit his throat. Yeah, you can't hurt me over my son. Yeah, he grabs his boy, grabs a grenade off of Ben, takes the pin out, shoves it up his rib cage, and closes the door. yeah, I'll get you for this. Boom. I tell you, man. I had to describe that entire scene because this whole thing, a lot is going on in this house, in this movie. A lot going on in this house and a lot going on in this movie. I mean, yeah, it is packed. The entire story is packed, But I had to describe the entire climactic scene, the entire boss battle, if you will. I had to just put that out there because, it was very exciting, Yeah. Yeah, horror, comedy, and just a little bit of action, we get the flashbacks of the Vietnam War, we get to see Big Ben, dead zombie Big Ben. Some real good stuff though, Yeah, this movie though, yeah, House. Yeah, it's a perfect blend of horror and comedy. More horror than it is to comedy with a little bit of action in it. But yeah, man, I tell you though, this movie, yeah, it is a great movie though. It is a great movie. You really, if you're not familiar with it, then yeah, you get familiar with this shit right away. Yeah. So yeah, man. Straight 5 out of 5. House. Straight 5 out of 5. That's my review, Jack, and I'm sticking to it. Now next week. Well, I'm going out away from horror for next week. Going out away from horror next week. Going out away from horror. I'm going into the action now. Getting into some action. I talked about just a little bit of action for this movie. Talk about some real good hardcore action for this next week, because Stallone and the rest of the guys, they are back for war. Stallone versus Van Damme. It's gonna be coming. It's gonna be coming next week, man. Yeah, Stallone versus Van Damme. Yeah, the fight you wanted to see for the longest time. I bet you. The fight you want to see for the longest time is gonna be talked about next week. So yeah, check out my other shit right here. Subscribe to me right here. But in the meantime, in between time, Jack, this show is off.